What if I told you that one of the most controversial books, banned from the Bible, holds secrets that could completely change everything you thought you knew about humanity's origins? The Book of Enoch, hidden away for centuries, reveals a shocking truth. What if our history isn't quite what we've been told? Why did the ancient texts, particularly in Genesis, mention the Nephilim, the giants who walked the earth? Could it be that they were not just myth, but real physical beings created by the Watchers, beings who descended from the heavens and hybridized with human women? And what if these beings brought advanced knowledge to humankind, knowledge so powerful that it was deemed too dangerous to preserve? In this video, we're going to explore the Book of Enoch and unlock the mysteries surrounding the Watchers, the Nephilim, and the forbidden knowledge that was hidden from us. You'll discover why these ancient texts were banned, what they reveal about extraterrestrial involvement in our past, and how these secrets tie into stories of giants, hybridization, and the forbidden wisdom of the universe. What if the Book of Enoch holds the key to understanding the Nephilim, the fallen angels, or extraterrestrial beings who shape the world as we know it? Could it be that we've been kept in the dark about a past that intertwines humanity with celestial beings? The answers might just change everything. As we embark on this journey, I invite you to consider, what if the giants of old weren't just stories? What if the Watchers were real? Comment below with your thoughts on this. Do you think ancient encounters with beings from the heavens are part of our forgotten history? Like and subscribe to dive deeper into these revelations and stay connected with the truths hidden in plain sight. Let's explore the truth together. Who was Enoch? And why was he taken? In the pages of the Bible, Enoch stands out as an enigmatic figure, a man who walked with God and then was taken, never to be seen again. But what does this really mean? For centuries, many have interpreted these words as a divine favor, a mystical departure from this world, leaving behind no trace. Yet the Book of Enoch reveals a different perspective, a startling truth that shifts our understanding of Enoch's journey and his place in our history. Enoch was no ordinary man. He was a descendant of Adam, the father of Methuselah, and the great-grandfather of Noah. But his relationship with the divine was unlike any other. The Bible tells us that Enoch walked with God, and then, mysteriously, he was not, for God took him. Genesis 5:24. This moment, recorded briefly, has puzzled scholars and theologians for millennia. Yet, in the Book of Enoch, this passage is explained with stunning clarity. It is not merely a spiritual journey. It is the story of a man who was chosen to ascend, to be taken beyond the realms of this earth, to witness and learn the secrets of the universe. Imagine the divine invitation to Enoch, a message from the heavens, a revelation that would shape the course of human history. The Book of Enoch describes Enoch's journey as one of profound cosmic discovery, a journey guided by celestial beings, beings not of this world, but from a far-off place in the stars. These beings, whom we call the Watchers, were the ones who descended to earth, not only to guide Enoch, but to impart forbidden knowledge to him. In the quiet moments of this journey, Enoch encountered the Watchers, beings who were far from angelic. These Watchers were part of a higher order, beings who had come from the stars, possessing knowledge far beyond human comprehension. And it is within these sacred teachings that Enoch's true mission unfolds. His ascension was not merely a spiritual elevation, it was the opening of a portal to wisdom, a gateway to understanding the divine order and the secrets of the heavens. But why was he chosen? Why did the divine hand reach out to him, singling him out from among the countless others who walked the earth at that time? It was not simply for spiritual enlightenment. It was because Enoch's journey held a deeper purpose. His knowledge was not for him alone. It was to be shared, passed down through generations, hidden in plain sight for those who would have the courage to seek it. Enoch became a bridge, a link between the earthly and the divine, between humanity and the cosmic beings who shaped the fate of the world. This brings us to the question of why Enoch was taken. Was it truly an act of divine favor, or was it a necessary removal, a prevention from the truth being too widely known? The Watchers had given Enoch access to a sacred understanding, one that could have turned the tides of human history, but humanity wasn't ready for such knowledge. And so, Enoch was taken, not to keep the truth hidden, but to preserve it until the right time. As we reflect on Enoch's story, we are reminded of a profound lesson. Sometimes, knowledge and truth must be protected, not from others, but for them. Sometimes, the light must be hidden until the hearts of humanity are ready to embrace it. Enoch's journey teaches us about divine timing, about the way in which wisdom unfolds in the world. We may not always understand why certain truths are withheld from us, but as we seek to uncover them, we too are called to walk with a sense of purpose, with an understanding that the truth, when revealed, will be transformative. The arrival of the Watchers. Who were they? The story of the Watchers is one that stretches across ancient texts, mythologies, and the very fabric of our spiritual understanding. These beings, who descended from the heavens, did not come as angels in the traditional sense. They were not mere messengers sent to carry out divine commands. No, they were something much more complex, something that challenges our conventional ideas of good and evil, of the divine and the earthly. In the Book of Enoch, the Watchers are described as a group of 200 celestial beings who descended to earth. Their purpose at first seemed noble, to observe humanity, to guide and protect, but something went terribly awry. Instead of simply watching, these beings crossed a line that would forever change the course of human history. They took human wives, and through this union they birthed the Nephilim, the giants who would walk the earth, possessing both human and celestial blood. But why did the Watchers do this? What drove them to take such a forbidden step? The answer lies in the very nature of their beings. The Watchers, despite their immense wisdom and power, were not immune to the desires of the flesh. The Book of Enoch reveals that their decision to mate with human women was not merely an act of rebellion. It was an attempt to bridge the gap between the divine and the mortal. In doing so, they sought to impart their knowledge to humanity, to elevate mankind to a higher level of understanding and capability. However, the consequences were catastrophic. The Nephilim, born from this union, were not simply giants in stature. They were beings of immense power, beings whose very existence threatened the balance of the world. These giants were destructive, using their power not for good, but for chaos. Their presence on earth became a symbol of imbalance, an unnatural blending of the divine and the mortal, of the heavenly and the earthly. And as the Book of Enoch explains, this was not a situation that could be allowed to continue. The Watchers' actions were seen as a breach of divine law, a crossing of a boundary that could not be undone. Their punishment was swift and severe. In the Book of Enoch, the Watchers are bound and cast into the abyss, a place where they would remain imprisoned for eternity. But their story did not end there. Their influence on humanity was far-reaching. The knowledge they shared with mankind, the secrets of the heavens, the teachings of the stars, the forbidden wisdom, would live on, passed down through generations, hidden away, waiting for those who were ready to uncover it. The story of the Watchers teaches us an important lesson. Knowledge, when used irresponsibly, can lead to destruction. The Watchers sought to elevate humanity, but in their pursuit of knowledge, they crossed a line that could not be uncrossed. Their story serves as a warning to us all that the pursuit of truth and wisdom must be done with humility and responsibility. Knowledge is not a gift to be taken lightly. It is a powerful force that can shape the world for better or for worse. As we look at the Watchers, we are reminded of the need to understand the consequences of our actions, to recognize that the pursuit of truth, while noble, must be done with a sense of reverence for the balance of the world. The Watcher's story calls us to consider the price of knowledge and to ask ourselves whether we are truly ready for the wisdom we seek. As we move forward, we will delve deeper into the Nephilim and the impact they had on our history. Were they merely giants? Or were they something far more significant, something that continues to shape our understanding of the divine? Stay with us as we uncover more of the truth hidden in ancient texts and explore the powerful forces that once walked among us. The forbidden knowledge, advanced technologies, and astronomical wisdom. In the Book of Enoch, the Watchers did not merely descend to earth with the intent to observe. They brought with them the profound wisdom of the heavens, knowledge that had long been hidden from humankind. They imparted secrets that were far beyond the capabilities of early humans, and within this knowledge lay the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe. The Watchers were not just teachers of the earth. They were bearers of a divine, cosmic intelligence. The ancient world was, by all accounts, aware of the stars above them. But the wisdom the Watchers shared with humanity was of a far more advanced kind. Wisdom that reached into the depths of the cosmos, revealing the movements of celestial bodies, the cycles of the moon, and the mysteries of the stars. This knowledge was not simply about what was visible to the eye. It was about understanding the intricate order of the universe, the laws that govern the heavens, and the very fabric of reality itself. Consider, for example, the ancient Egyptians, who had an unparalleled understanding of the stars and their movements. Their calendar was based on astronomical knowledge that far surpassed what most of the world understood at the time. Similarly, the Mayans of Central America developed complex systems of astronomy, mapping the movements of the planets with incredible accuracy. How could these civilizations have come to possess such wisdom? Could it be that the Watchers, those beings from the heavens, shared their cosmic knowledge with these ancient cultures? This is where the Book of Enoch offers profound insight. The Watchers taught humanity the science of the heavens, the knowledge of the stars and their movements, the mysteries of the lunar and solar cycles, and even the way that cosmic forces shape the destiny of mankind. The astronomical knowledge provided by the Watchers was not merely for the advancement of civilization in terms of agriculture or trade. It was a deeper understanding, one that connected humanity to the very structure of the universe itself. But there was a price to this knowledge. The Watchers did not just teach mankind how to harness the stars, they also imparted to them the knowledge of forbidden technologies. These technologies, in the wrong hands, could lead to destruction. In the Book of Enoch, we learn that the Watchers taught humanity not only about the stars, but also about the secrets of metallurgy, the making of weapons, and other tools that could be used for both creation and devastation. The Watchers, while benevolent in their intent to share wisdom, also inadvertently set the stage for chaos and war, as the knowledge they gave humanity was far too advanced for its time. Consider the lesson here. Knowledge, while powerful and transformative, must be handled with care. The Watchers intended to elevate humanity, to share with us the wisdom of the stars. Yet this very wisdom led to the birth of the Nephilim, the giants, and the resulting turmoil that followed. The lesson is clear. With great knowledge comes great responsibility. The Watchers, despite their wisdom, were not immune to the consequences of their actions, and humanity, armed with forbidden knowledge, became a force that was difficult to control. This wisdom, however, did not disappear. The Watchers' teachings were passed down through the ages, often hidden, but still present in the mythologies, religions, and esoteric traditions of many cultures. The knowledge of the heavens, the secrets of the stars, and the technologies of creation and destruction are still with us today, waiting for those who are prepared to unlock them. What will we do with this knowledge when we discover it? Will we use it to build and create? Or will we allow it to bring destruction upon us as it did in the past? As we continue this journey, we move deeper into the story of the Watchers and their lasting influence on humanity. The forbidden knowledge they gave us has shaped our understanding of the world and the universe. But as we'll see, this knowledge wasn't just a gift. It was a curse, one that would lead to the downfall of many, but also the birth of a new understanding of our place in the cosmos. The story of the Watchers and the knowledge they shared is not just about the past. It is a lesson for us in the present. What will we do with the wisdom we hold? Mami Wata, the aquatic beings and their connection to Enoch. Across the world, from the coasts of Africa to the islands of the Caribbean, there are legends of beings that live in the waters, beautiful and mysterious, who hold secrets of both the earth and the heavens. These beings, known as Mami Wata, have been part of the folklore and spiritual traditions of many cultures for centuries. But could these stories be more than just myths? Could they be connected to the Watchers, the very beings who descended from the heavens and interacted with humanity? The Book of Enoch speaks of the Watchers, beings who came to earth and mingled with human women, creating the Nephilim. In many cultures, there are stories of water beings, creatures who come from the sea, who have a deep understanding of the forces that govern both the earth and the sky. The Mami Wata tradition is one such example, and it shares striking similarities with the accounts of the Watchers in the Book of Enoch. Mami Wata, which translates to Mother Water in many African languages, is a water spirit, often depicted as a beautiful woman, sometimes with the lower body of a fish or serpent. These beings are said to have the power to heal, to offer wisdom, and to grant gifts of fertility and wealth. But there is a darker side to their nature as well. The Mami Wata are also associated with abductions, with taking humans, particularly women, away to their underwater realms, only to return them later, often changed in profound ways. This theme of abduction and transformation bears a striking resemblance to the actions of the Watchers. In the Book of Enoch, the Watchers descended from the heavens and took human wives, leading to the birth of the Nephilim, giants who were both human and divine. In the Mami Wata stories, the beings from the waters take humans, usually women, to their underwater kingdoms, where they are given wisdom and power, but often return with a sense of otherworldly knowledge. Could these beings be the same? Could the Mami Wata represent a manifestation of the Watchers, or perhaps the descendants of the Nephilim, still interacting with humanity in the present day? The parallels between the Mami Wata legends and the Book of Enoch are uncanny. In both stories, the beings are otherworldly, coming from a place beyond our understanding, whether from the heavens or from the deep waters. They both possess advanced knowledge, and they both engage in the act of abducting humans, offering them gifts of wisdom, but also leaving them changed in ways that are not always understood. The Mami Wata are seen by some as benevolent, but others see them as dangerous, as beings whose influence can bring both blessings and curses. So what can we learn from these stories? The connection between the Mami Wata and the Watchers teaches us something profound. The line between the divine and the earthly is often not as clear as we think. The beings that we encounter in the myths and legends of our ancestors may not be as far removed from us as we believe. The Watchers, the Nephilim, and the Mami Wata all represent the same principle, beings that straddle the line between the divine and the human, between the celestial and the earthly. And they remind us that there are forces in this world and beyond that shape our lives in ways we may never fully understand. As we reflect on these stories, we are reminded of the importance of knowledge and the responsibility that comes with it. The Watchers and the Mami Wata both offered humanity wisdom, but that wisdom came with a cost. The lesson here is clear. Knowledge is a powerful force, one that can elevate us, but also lead to our downfall. As we continue to uncover the secrets of the universe, we must be mindful of the forces at play, for not all knowledge is meant to be shared, and not all wisdom is a gift. The Mami Wata and the Watchers both serve as warnings and guides, showing us that the pursuit of wisdom and knowledge requires great care. The cosmic forces they represent are both a blessing and a challenge we must face with humility, understanding, and a deep respect for the mysteries of the universe. The Nephilim, giants among us. The Nephilim, giants whose very existence has sparked debate for centuries. Who were these towering figures, and what role did they play in the ancient world? Were they mere myth, or were they once real, walking among us, with the blood of both humans and celestial beings coursing through their veins? In the Book of Enoch, the Nephilim are described as the offspring of the Watchers and human women, giants of unimaginable strength, wisdom, and power. Their very presence on earth was a disruption of the natural order, a fusion of the divine and the mortal. As we contemplate their story, it becomes clear that the Nephilim were not just beings of extraordinary size, but of extraordinary significance. They were more than just giants. They were the physical manifestation of an unnatural union between the divine and the human. The Book of Enoch tells us that these beings were heroes of old and men of renown. Enoch 7:2. Yet their impact on the world was anything but benign. The giants were both admired and feared, possessing immense power and the knowledge imparted to them by the Watchers. They were beings who, though born from human women, were far from human themselves. Their size and strength were not their only distinguishing characteristics. The Nephilim, as we learn in the Book of Enoch, were a disruptive force on earth. They wreaked havoc on humanity, corrupting creation and spreading violence. Their presence was so disruptive that it eventually led to divine intervention, as the world became overwhelmed by the chaos they unleashed. The flood, which would come as judgment upon the earth, was in part a response to the havoc caused by these giants. This part of the story is deeply profound. The Nephilim, as the offspring of the Watchers and human women, represent the dangers of unchecked knowledge and power. Their existence was a reminder that when humanity attempts to transcend its natural limits, the consequences can be catastrophic. The lesson here is clear. The pursuit of power, whether through forbidden knowledge or divine intervention, can lead to ruin when it is not tempered with wisdom, responsibility, and understanding. In our modern world, the story of the Nephilim serves as a warning. We too live in an age where knowledge and power are more accessible than ever. We have the potential to harness the forces of nature and the mysteries of the universe, but we must ask ourselves, are we ready for this knowledge? Are we prepared for the consequences that come with it? The Nephilim remind us that wisdom must precede power and that unchecked ambition can lead to chaos. The rejection of Enoch's book and its message. The Book of Enoch was excluded from the canonical scriptures of both Judaism and Christianity, despite being cited by early church fathers and even mentioned in the New Testament, Jude chapter 1, 14-15. Why was this book, which contains such profound and unsettling truths, rejected by the religious authorities of the time? What was it about its message that was deemed too dangerous to be included in the Bible? The answer lies in the radical nature of the knowledge contained within its pages. The Book of Enoch challenges the traditional understanding of creation, of divine authority, and of humanity's relationship with the celestial realm. It tells the story of the Watchers, beings who descended from the heavens to share forbidden knowledge with humanity. This knowledge was not only about the natural world, but also about the cosmos, about the celestial bodies, and about the hidden forces that govern our universe. It also revealed the dark side of this knowledge, the consequences of crossing boundaries and the destructive potential of meddling with powers beyond our comprehension. At the heart of the rejection of Enoch's writings lies the discomfort these truths stirred within the religious establishment. The Book of Enoch painted a picture of a universe far more complex than the one presented in the canonical texts. It revealed the existence of beings who were not simply angels or demons, but entities who came from the stars, possessing knowledge that could elevate humanity, but also bring great destruction. It was not just a spiritual text, it was a cosmic one, challenging the narrow view of a world solely governed by the will of one singular deity. The Church, in its efforts to establish orthodoxy and consolidate power, could not allow a text that suggested the existence of otherworldly beings with such influence over humanity. The rejection of the Book of Enoch was not just about theology, it was about control. The message of the Book of Enoch was one that could not be easily integrated into the monotheistic framework that was being solidified at the time. The Watchers, with their forbidden knowledge, represented an alternative narrative that threatened to undermine the authority of the religious institutions. The establishment could not afford to acknowledge a text that opened the door to such radical ideas. But in rejecting the Book of Enoch, the Church also rejected a profound truth. That knowledge, even divine knowledge, is not without its consequences. By ignoring the lessons of the Watchers, the Nephilim, and the forbidden wisdom of the cosmos, humanity has been left in the dark, unaware of the deeper truths that lie just beyond our understanding. And in this ignorance, we have continued to repeat the same mistakes, pushing boundaries without fully understanding the consequences, seeking power without wisdom. The rejection of the Book of Enoch is a powerful lesson in itself. Truth, when it threatens the status quo, will often be suppressed. But the truth does not disappear. It lingers, hidden in plain sight, waiting for those who are ready to seek it. As we look to the Book of Enoch and its message, we are reminded that we, too, must be willing to question established narratives, to seek out the hidden truths, and to embrace knowledge that challenges our understanding of the world. Ezekiel's vision and other biblical references to extraterrestrial beings. The Book of Ezekiel presents one of the most famous and mysterious visions in the Bible, one that has captivated scholars, theologians, and UFO enthusiasts alike for centuries. In his vision, Ezekiel describes a wheel within a wheel, a flying chariot that comes down from the sky, accompanied by beings with faces like that of a man, a lion, an ox, and an eagle. These beings, described in vivid detail, are often interpreted as angels. But could they be something else entirely? Could Ezekiel's vision have been a description of an extraterrestrial encounter? As we read the Book of Ezekiel, we are confronted with a powerful image, a massive, fiery chariot descending from the heavens surrounded by four strange beings. These beings, whose appearance defies earthly logic, seem to possess abilities beyond human comprehension. They are not simply spiritual entities, they are physical, powerful, and connected to a machine that moves through the heavens. This is not the typical description of an angelic visitation. It is the description of something far more complex, something that fits the profile of a UFO encounter. Ezekiel's vision is strikingly similar to modern reports of close encounters with extraterrestrial beings and UFO sightings. The description of the wheel within a wheel and the beings with faces that seem otherworldly are reminiscent of the types of sightings reported by individuals who claim to have encountered UFOs. These parallels raise important questions. Are the encounters described in the Bible truly encounters with divine beings? Or could they be describing something far more tangible, an extraterrestrial visitation? The Book of Ezekiel and other biblical references to strange celestial beings present us with a compelling narrative that challenges the traditional understanding of spirituality and the divine. These beings, whether angels, extraterrestrials, or something in between, seem to possess knowledge and technology far beyond what humanity was capable of at the time. And yet these encounters were not seen as alien. They were interpreted as divine, as part of God's plan for humanity. What can we learn from these biblical accounts? The lesson is profound. The divine is not always what we expect it to be. Just as the watchers in the Book of Enoch descended from the heavens, so too did the beings Ezekiel encountered. Their presence in the Bible challenges our understanding of the spiritual and the physical, urging us to consider the possibility that our connection to the divine is not limited to what we can see or understand. Perhaps like Ezekiel, we too are destined to encounter truths that defy our understanding, truths that will expand our consciousness and reshape our place in the universe. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the Bible, we are reminded that our perception of the divine is often limited by our own understanding. The visions described in the Book of Ezekiel may not be as far-fetched as we once thought. Perhaps like Ezekiel, we too are being called to open our eyes to a greater reality, one that extends beyond the earth and into the cosmos. As we reach the end of this journey through the mysteries of the Book of Enoch, the Watchers, the Nephilim, and the forbidden knowledge they imparted, we are left with more than just questions. We are left with a profound understanding of the forces that have shaped our world and the deep responsibility that comes with seeking hidden truths. The Book of Enoch is not just a collection of ancient stories. It is a key to unlocking the deeper spiritual mysteries of the universe. It beckons us to look beyond the surface of what we know and seek a truth that goes beyond human comprehension. But with this truth comes a choice. Will we embrace it, or will we reject it, as humanity has done for millennia? The lessons woven into the fabric of Enoch's story remind us of the delicate balance between knowledge and power. When the Watchers descended from the heavens and shared their celestial wisdom with humanity, they did not just offer us knowledge of the stars and the cosmos, they offered us the potential for great transformation, both in light and in shadow. Yet, as we have seen through the tale of the Nephilim and the consequences of the Watchers' actions, there is a great price for such knowledge when it is not wielded with wisdom and respect. How many times in our own lives do we seek knowledge without understanding its deeper implications? How many times do we chase after power or wisdom without recognizing the responsibility that accompanies it? The story of Enoch and the Watchers calls us to question our own approach to truth and wisdom. It challenges us to consider whether we are truly ready for the knowledge that the universe has to offer, and whether we can handle its consequences. The Book of Enoch also teaches us about divine timing. Just as Enoch was taken when humanity was not ready for the full measure of the knowledge he possessed, we too must acknowledge that there is a time for everything. The wisdom of the Watchers and the knowledge of the heavens may not be for us to fully understand right now, but the journey to uncovering these truths is just as important as the destination. The divine order of the universe is not something to be rushed or forced. It is something to be embraced in its own time. As we close this chapter of our exploration, I invite you to reflect on the message of the Book of Enoch. The knowledge that has been hidden from us for centuries is not a burden to bear, but a gift to cherish. It is a reminder that we are not alone in this vast cosmic journey. There are forces, both seen and unseen, that are shaping our world in ways we may never fully understand. And yet, we are part of something much greater than ourselves, a story that spans the heavens and the earth, connecting us to a divine wisdom that transcends time and space. If this video has brought value to your soul, or helped you find light in the darkness, I invite you to support this channel in any way you can. Your energy, your engagement, your comments, and your thoughts mean more to me than words can express. Every like, every share, every time you subscribe and turn on notifications, you are helping to spread the message of truth, light, and divine wisdom. It's not just about supporting the channel, it's about supporting each other on this journey of awakening. And if you feel called to give, even in the smallest of ways, your contribution will go a long way in helping me continue to create content that uplifts and inspires. I am deeply grateful for each and every one of you who chooses to walk this path with me. Together, we are uncovering the hidden truths of the universe and sharing them with the world. So, let us continue to seek, to question, and to grow. For in doing so, we become a part of the divine story, and the light of truth shines ever brighter in the darkness. If you feel inspired by what you've learned today, leave a comment below and share your thoughts. What truths have you uncovered about the Book of Enoch and its message? Do you think the Watchers were sent to guide us, or did they cause more harm than good? Let's explore these questions together, and may our journey continue to bring us closer to the wisdom that lies within us all. Thank you with all my heart for your support. May peace and light guide you always.